Gav should be back by now.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
If Martha's gonna get back on her feet, she'll need our help. Whether she wants it or not.
None of the curse breakers have returned.
They'll be fine. Sid wouldn't be here if they weren't.
Clive! How I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals. Four mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Those men didn't hurt Martha, did they?
I think it's all right.
Won't be long now, Martel. See,
Is everything all right?
oh, yeah, it's just
It's good to know there's something of the old...
Martel's pride and joy. I took it on, you see, after she... And not only is it ready, it...
Impressive.
I thought this first... You couldn't take them some, could you?
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thanks. You always had a soft spot for that. Here you go. You hear that, Martel?
That room's as ragged as...
You two look like you could use something to eat. Martel.
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Love.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back in the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked?
Please, Aunt. She'd have been...
Others weren't so lucky, though.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back. Old Sid was the only one who could even have them right from the...
That sounds like the Sid...
Planning on keeping that lot to you? Hang on. These aren't Martels. I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Reckon she'd be happy knowing. Clive, tell the lad...
Not so much as a thank you. Well, you can leave the basket with me.
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Without a ship to carry you there, Drake's breath might as well be on the moon.
There was a time I only had eyes for Otto. But then I saw the light, and his name is Cole. That way he looks at you like a frightened fawn who's lost his mother. Oh, if only I could shoot an arrow through his heart.
And you say Sid? Did you come through the forge today?
curse breakers. They were clearly...
They remembered her. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her. When she died,
And through you.
I did.
By the way...
Of course not. I'll see. They like your fruit, Martel? Just look at her. Here's a...
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We'll face it together, then.
To the end.
Come on.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber. Fly, Ambrosia!
Company.
There. To the south. That's where we're headed.
You can just make out the castle from here as well.
And yet it's a world away. All right. Thanks, Gal. Good girl.
Yeah!
Straight home now.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing but loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right, I heard.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. The Empire wants answers and what...
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What were their 100 full legions?
We're going hunting for outlaws.
How'd you like that, boy?
There was a time my husband might have stood up to those men.
Welcome, stranger.
Fare you well?
Word is, poor Isolde's closed her gates to all the...
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. At least I think there was a Black Shield.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? If only we were.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know.
How'd you get it?
But we need to find out.
2 more left to join the garrison this very morning.
Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pole.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
More of my mother's men.
Careful!
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield of Rosaria. Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry. Find something, boy. Death.
Oh, found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
We're approaching Newark Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
Didn't happen to come by way of Oldhill, did you?
Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morning, you couldn't see them. Time for all the ravens.
I did, Mummy! I could hear him shouting from down the road.
They tell us there's a curfew and then refuse us passage back to our homes.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
The gates are closed! Be gone!
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
Faster!
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better. That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! My children are starving!
Have mercy!
Viceroy's dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here!
Oh, getting that
Fuck off! Hang the chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all! I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties! Cut you down where you stand! Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
That broom's as ragged as...
So Martha's all right.
Yeah, doesn't sound like anywhere is safe.
All right, Clive. Keeping busy, are you? Me too. Seems like every report our allies sends us brings 100 new headaches for me to deal with. I've been doing my best to keep on top of it all, sending anything urgent straight to the curse breakers, just like Otto told me. The rest I add to the list. Whether it's strangers begging our aid or friends acting funny, there is no end of problems that need solving. And anyone with the time and inclination to solve them will earn a nice bit of goodwill for the cause. And maybe more besides. So, how busy did you say you were? Anything catch your eye? Always something, isn't there?
Oh, Clive! Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any? Here's everything we've received and everything promised. You earned this. All yours. All done?
Ah, yes. Our mysterious Moogle friend. Nectar, was it? I'll stick with Nectar if it's all the same to you. What seems to be the matter? The hunt board? It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know? Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try. Now we know why the refugees didn't come here.
Keep looking then.
Thanks, Gal. This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned, then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp.
They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the pit. We'll show them that the fire in our hearts is not telling me that's the Archduke's son.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage. May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buick Bridge, and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
We'll keep them from the bridge.
Tell us then, Sir Wade.
We'll show him as much mercy.
You're telling me that's the Archduke's son?
We'll show them that fire
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Run like the wind.
I got me sideways.
Come along now.
The bastards are lucky.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For Azaria!
For Azaria!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Fight their battle for them.
You're a fine hound.
You're telling me that's the Archduke's son?
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
inside. Come along now.
The bastard alone.
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear. It's over.
Reinforcements from the far bank!
The Wyvern will find their battles for them.
More dragons.
Worms. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point, that this land is in dire need of cleansing.
to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud! Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience.
especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the Mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess. I didn't take you for a scholar, Ivan.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thanks.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first tunnel worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these?
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer.
Fantastic!
So, dare I ask what's on the menu?
Chance. The only problem, a beast. No doubt.
Does the book say anything?
Well, only that the sweetest...
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
Against the gloom of bygone days, do boats of flame take flight.
Typical nobles.
How did we never
There are
hear
new
of
villains
the
being
Guardians of the
posted
Flame?
every day.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you.
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Now, normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but something's getting him down. It's like he's lost his... I'm thinking he might if we...
Fine. If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk...
All right. Now, he'll only wait a bit.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? You earned this. All done?
Back again, Lord Rosfield.
It is not your company.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it. The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Justanus, home of Drake's Breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway to the continent, making Drostanus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's Breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. But thank you all the same. Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
Typical nobles.
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
He's not a monster. He's Torgal. And he'd take a liking to you too if you gave him as many nuts as Nan does.
First August, and now you. What are you pair up to? What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business. What'd you go and do?
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about you.
Phil shut you up. It's nothing, really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like every clumsy shit. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman I thought I was. That you got what you came for.
All right. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Didn't think anything could rattle him.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Something tells me if he has doubts.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass, assuming you're happy to help.
Too bloody right I...
Glad to hear it. Karen, do you have a moment? Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite example of the craft, from what he told us.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put to next all his stuff to...
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, we don't trust hunters, Nate.
I see.
He did tell me so. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin...
Here! There's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe... Care Northern? That...
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit.
So... It sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leatherworker.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll...
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to...
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other.
Ah, welcome. Times may be hard, but if you got the gill, I got the goods.
Unwanted violets, if you have them.
Why, I haven't heard folk call them that. You're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets used to chuck them in the pot, and even if they were...
Do the scorpions still live nearby?
I dare say they do. 3 raids would...
Thank you. You've been most helpful.
After what the Empire did to Martha Scott, I'd be daft to stay.
Don't you go causing any trouble now.
Ready, go?
Faster!
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against. I better get this back to Yvonne before it goes bad.
Goodbye, Ambrosia.
Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey. Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off more than he can chew. Is something there, boy? Could that be our man?
Dare say I'll survive. That griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off.
More likely than not.
The name's Camille. I'm a lowly leather worker.
Not so
She's not an easy woman to forget. Bought a cuirass from me after I lost my buyer. Quite taken with my work, as far as I recall. Didn't stop her bartering me down to a pittance, though. She sent you for a refund?
It's not her who sent me.
Well, consider me flattered.
You should be. He's a master of his art. and not an easy man to impress.
Blacksmiths are proud folk, and I don't imagine an impressive swordsman like yourself. I'd dearly love to help a fellow craftsman, but actually, I suppose you could give him this.
What is it?
Treated leather. If your man's as skilled as he...
You sure?
Well, and thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the grit... Short of...
In that case, I'll see that he gets it.
I'd be much obliged if you... Right. I've got some griefs to make. You send your blacksmith my regard.
Will do. Hopefully this will sweeten Blackthorn's mood.
Did you find,
I didn't.
Marvellous!
You wouldn't be wrong.
I present Chance's Stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity. Grab a spoon, Sid. Let's eat while it's hot.
I'm, not hungry.
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bowl clean. Your loss. Odin's teeth. What, the salt on the senses. It's like choking on swamp water. And yet, up through the pungency, there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavours, but never have I tasted anything so fine. Thank you, Sid. Thank you.
You're, welcome.
I must share this gift. I won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's stew sits before everyone in the hideaway. A single mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
I'm sure she will.
Well,
Live over there's the best thing to happen to Hideaway since.
She's taking quite a liking to Lady Karen.
He's not a monster. He's Torgal. And he'd take a liking to you too if you gave him as many nuts as Nandus.
And with a bit of luck, Clive might even find the geezer.
Bloody busybodies, the both of you.
How'd it go, Clive? Did you find him?
I found him. And he asked me to give you this.
You joke.
He said he wouldn't teach you how to work, but that if you were as skilled...
Skid a few times, and that's no order. Oh, this is...
Yeah? I'll take your word for it. Here, Clive.
Camille, I believe.
I thought as much. There ain't many leather workers in the realm daft enough to do... Turns out he's from Tabor. And again, most leather workers are. But our friend Camille guards a long-held family secret.
Then we better keep this close to our chest.
Listen, still, I'm glad you found him.
That was the idea. Clive's idea, anyway.
It's good to have you back, Blackthorn.
Just don't expect me to go turning out work. There's a reason he does his own hunting. He knows it. Don't get me started on how much of... I reckon I can make something. Anyway, enough now.
Looks like we won't be need.
As if there was a better one out there. I wouldn't have been the same anyway. Right, now that's sorted. Thanks, Clive.
Back, are ya? What's that for you, dear? You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you. Anything else?
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled.
Look at this place.
This is no time to ride. Straight home now. This isn't gonna be easy. Rest well. I know I will.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Don't get surrounded. Hope there aren't any more of them.
Typical nobles.
How may I help you today, Clive? All done?
A part of me thought Drake's head might be the last crystal we ever cracked. I'm glad I was wrong.
They never heard about us, actually.
It will be over soon.
You ready?
I think so.
Jill. When you told me you had to come to terms with your past, you weren't talking about destroying Drake's breath, were you?
No. I spoke of Imran, the leader of the Crystalline Orthodox. The man who made me do all those unspeakable things. I'm going to kill him. It's what I need to do to put the past behind me. What I need to move forward. And I know that I can do it. If you're there beside me.
Always.
And I'll be beside you, too. We'll bring down the Mother Crystal together. All while Sid looks on.
We'll make him proud.
Useful trick. Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes. I'm fine.
No, you're not.
This may be the only chance I get to go back. My only chance to put things right. I have to do this. Whatever the cost.
All right.
There she is.
Iron Kingdom's mother crystal.
Drake's breath. Strong currents, sharp rocks, and ether floods. Let's not forget them. This island is a natural fortress.
But safety breeds complacency, allowing a single rowing boat to slip in unseen. The sanctuary is inside the mountain. If we follow the old trail, we should be able to enter by the back gate.
Right. Let's go. I always imagined when I came here it would be to reclaim it.
It used to belong to Rosaria, didn't it?
Once, though it's been in the Ironblood's clutches for far too long.
As was I. For 13 years, this rock was my home. I know its secrets only too well. This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it.
The perfect little shortcut.
It was never as bad as this before. And the only way past them is through them. Was that an earthquake? They happen all the time. That wasn't even a bad one. It's nothing to worry about. We'll enter the caves from there.